Okay, so for this week on my gaming project for senior project, pretty much worked on a UML diagram for all of the game objects that will be in my game scene. So I started out with the base class for item, which will include the renderer. This is all based off of the Unity game engine. So from the base class for item, I'll have it derived into the interactable item. So that is going to have the rigid body, a collider, and animator is going to be necessary for that class. Derived off of that class, I went ahead and had a pushable rock class, which is just a rock that's going to be able to be pushed by the character, but it doesn't need to have any sort of special features or any sort of like variables or methods because it's just going to use the rigid body physics. Also have the activatable item, hazard, and breakable item classes that are derived from interactable item. And from those, I have each specific class, such as like for the activatable items, we have like the flower, shrub, tree branch, and trail mix things. Those are all the specific collectibles, the pickups in the game that are available. From hazards in the like first level, there's gonna be like thorny vines. Falling in the water is another hazard for the second level, and third level is gonna have falling rocks, so they all get inherited from the hazard class with its damage amount that can be specified. And then I also have breakable items such as like brittle logs or brittle rocks that can be crushed using a player attack. So from also in the interactable item class, I derived the character class, which is with all the character game objects like your player, your NPC, and the enemy. So for the character class, it's going to have like the name, health, speed, base attack. A bool for is busy, meaning is that the character is being like is currently being attacked, is currently talking to someone. It's just to make sure that it's not able to have something else happen to it. So it's pretty much to ensure the state finite state machine, so that it can only have one thing happening at a time. It also has like its move, attack, and take damage functions, which are general to characters. So you don't have to have those be further down in the hierarchy. That can be up here, so that it can just be derived for each specific kind of character. So the player can be instantiated for like your player 1 and 2. Same thing for NPC and the enemy. I might later on change up having specific enemies shown on the UML diagram, but for now I just have it shown like this. Now, enemies and NPCs can have sensors so that whenever you as a player enter in like their sight, so to speak, or within like their attack range, they're able to sense that and then be triggered for you to be within speaking range if you're near an NPC, or if it's an enemy, it's different because it's either visual range for it to notice you and start following you, or in attack range for it to start attacking. Also, I have the enemy spawner is also showing that it has enemies, so I used the composition to show that. So that's pretty much what I've been able to do in my spare time this past week when it came to the UML diagram. I also made changes to my game design document as well. I went ahead and added in the two-player multiplayer feature. And as well as that, I changed a little bit on the game controls by just generalizing just only the X button for activate instead of having a separate button for dig when it's just something that could be activated next to like the dirt mound that the player can dig into. I believe I also might have, yes, I modified some of the tentative schedule. I swapped around some things so I get most of my planning done in the first 4 weeks, and then week 4 is when I actually start making things. So that's pretty much what I've been able to do this past week.